The Aristocrats, a joke in iambic pentameter by Iron Page. An old man approaches an agency with an act he claims they really must see. I know you're not into family acts, but give us a chance, I'm sure you'll react most favourably. You've my sworn decree, an act like ours you will never have seen. The agent casts his gaze over the man. You have 5 minutes to prove that you can convince me to draw you up a contract. Tell me a little more about your act. The old man's description begins hereby, with notes on the dramatis personae. There's myself, who you've met, and there's my son. There's his wife and their 2 darling children, a daughter of the tender age of 9, and a son who just recently turned 5. Their pet dog smartly rounds our crew. I will tell you precisely what we do. My son comes on wearing a tiara, with a semi-opaque, crotchless burqa, riding a sled that is pulled by his kids, whose naked backs he lashes with 2 whips, until suddenly bursting into song, My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. As he sings, his children crawl on their knees to the melody, and, having crawled around in the mixture, believe you me, they make quite the picture, particularly when both are covered, and start to kiss like 2 practised lovers. My son, so moved by his children's embrace, first the one, then the other's young face, allowing his seed to fall amongst the shit. He leaves the children pearl diving for it, as onto the stage comes his pregnant wife, pleasuring herself with a bowie knife. The steady cascade of blood down her shin is sufficient to rouse their canine in. With one graceful bound he leaps in her lap, and sniffing out the wound, begins to lap enthusiastically at her sore cage, while she takes a hand to pleasing the runt. Then I, dressed as Osama bin Laden, but sporting instead of a smock, a thong, ride onto the stage on a unicycle, whilst juggling a few dead babies' skulls, until jumping down to fuck my own son, before I crouch down to suck out my tongue. The dog, having eaten a sizable portion of my son's wife's home-crafted abortion, barks loudly in pleasure, calling her cue. In unison they both orgasm too. We take our bows as the PA system plays our glorious National Anthem. The agent is quite rightfully disturbed, not to say disgusted, by what he's heard. Frankly, I'm shocked you have not been arrested. We're most assuredly not interested. But what on God's earth do you call that act? The old man replied, The Aristocrats.